Back again with another one, y'all. Now, in this video, I will be answering the question or expressing what I feel about this latest talk about hip hop being dead. The question is being asked, is hip hop dead? And it's a trick question, being that we hear time and time and again how a lot of these hip hop artists, well, musicians period, but we just gonna keep it hip hop. A lot of these hip hop rap artists, they had hit songs, hit albums, 15 minutes to an hour of fame, and they got nothing to show for it. Most of our rappers are broke. And we hear of the stories time and time again how the record labels then pretty much then ripped off these artists, or the artists not necessarily realizing the type of contract they're engaging in, and they get taken advantage of. And of course, that's all by design. So now we have countless stories of countless artists we know and love are now saying they broke or always been broke. So as a result, a lot of these rap artists, they're no longer making music. They're starting to branch over into the podcasting arena due to the fact that, according to them, the industry is switched up. A lot of the record sales, because most of the music we listen to and consume is electronically now, so there is no tangible albums or CDs to purchase. It's all streaming. And according to a lot of these artists and music execs, you would have to have millions of streams just for a little bit of nothing. So now the writing is on the wall. The music industry is built in to rip you off, regardless of the genre. This has been going on since the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s into now. So it appears a lot of people are realizing that, and they're going in the independent direction. But even going in the independent direction, there's hurdles. And I'm not even talking about just you applying yourself and working hard and getting on your hustle horse to make sure your music or whatever it is that you promoting to flourish. But you got snakes in the gravel as well concerning contracts and agreements you may make as an independent artist. So you really got to know what you're doing. But the point is hip hop dead? Alright, so let me break it down, because this is a real learning lesson, and I doubt we'll learn this lesson at this junction anyway, but there's definitely a lesson to be learned. Now, as I mentioned before, the answer to the question, is hip hop dead? That's technically a trick question, but the short answer is no. However, if you planning on making music or getting into hip hop to make money, then yeah, it pretty much is dead for you. Due to the fact that, see, this is the thing, y'all, let me take it back. A lot of people liken the whole creation of hip hop and rap music to pyramid building. Although a pyramid is something physical, it's a physical manifestation. Hip hop was a mental, spiritual manifestation, but it was something that we built for us, by us. And just like the pyramids, they can't quite figure out how we did it. However, though, due to the fact that, I'm just going to call it sharecropping, a lot of these industry execs, whatever you want to call them, they was able to get ahead of hip hop. And by them getting ahead of hip hop, they was able to control it. Due to the fact that now it was money based. Now, don't get me wrong, we all need money to survive. But Essentially what that did was jeopardize the integrity of our music. And as we see the progression from the whole gangster rap to the drill rap to the whole female degradation and so on and so forth, it basically just highlights the worst in us, and it promotes the worst in us. And that is coming to an end. That part, fortunately. But we sold out hip-hop. We sharecropped, and they killed it in the name of money. So if you somebody out here that's in it for the money, then yeah, hip-hop is dead. Because your integrity is jeopardized, because the music that you making is not necessarily music that interests you or really coming from the heart. You just putting it on wax, throwing it out there, hoping you can catch a fish or two. You know, and I ain't knocking your hustle, because originally this was created, a pyramid building for us to create our own economy. But we sold it out. And it also reminds me of, see, a while back, and I remember cats used to clown old boy, the rapper Exhibit. And I don't know if he's still rapping, but he had a song, an album out a while back called Paparazzi. And it was specifically about this. And I remember the hook, what he say, it's a shame you only in the rap game, only for the money and the fame. Extra large. And I remember a little bit after that, because at that time, Exhibit, he was more hip-hop and he was positive. But that wasn't selling. So he kind of leaned more to the gangster. Not really. Exhibit, you know, I'm going to say he was himself for the most part. I'm not going to say Exhibit switched up and sold out. No, I'm definitely not going to say that. And that's a damn good song. But I remember that song on the Machiavelli album, one of the Outlaws. And he mentioned, as we know, what he say, got a little question for the ninja that made Paparazzi, talking about Exhibit. If you ain't in this rap game for the mother effing cash, man, then what is your motherfucking purpose? See, now, on the surface, that's like, yeah, right on, bro. We doing this for money. We trying to get paid. Come on, man, this ain't no game. But you see what happened? You sold out when you did that. You know, that's what ended up happening. I remember back then, when dude said that, I didn't really understand it. I just kind of thought he was hating. And I would think like, bro, you should understand the premise when Exhibit made that album, what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about being broke, but he was just talking about he's seen it already. We was selling out then. And we selling out now. A lot of us just sold out, completely out. And this is why hip-hop is dead when it comes as a, I'm going to say, as an industry money-making art. It's dead. But the fact that, yeah, you can still make good music right here in the comforts of your home or in the studio, and you may still blow up, but you got to be true to it. So if you're going to make music, if you're going to rap, do it because you like it. Don't do it with the expect to get paid, because if you want to get paid, you're going to have to compromise your style, your artistic value or whatever. You're going to have to switch it up to what's selling. And as we know, it's the bullshit. Sex, drugs, and violence. And even now, it ain't even that. A lot of this shit is watered down. Just period. I'm going to keep it 100. But this is what I make of it, y'all. So when I see a lot of these interviews and podcasts, especially by these rappers who used to be rappers. Now some got the charisma and the personality to pull it off. And it's not even necessarily about that, but I see y'all podcasting now, because there ain't no more money in the music, you know. And it's just funny, man. And you know, part of me want to laugh because y'all should have seen this coming, but it was cool when y'all was, I guess, making y'all a little money or whatever. But that was chump change. We already know who the real money movers and shakers is in them industries, and them the one that had y'all shucking and jiving. Not all artists, but a lot of artists. And it seemed like that then came to a head. So now y'all then all across the street over here to the podcaster lane. which, whatever, I don't really care, but I will say this, y'all. I'm not about to jeopardize the integrity on this YouTube space, because I've been on this YouTube thing way before the monetization, and I will be here after, because it's a lesson to be learned. You understand? We're not doing this for the money. Now, of course, yeah, we all want to get paid. You need money to survive. So anybody would be lying if they say they don't need money. But at the same time, that don't mean hell nah. But that's what I make it, y'all. So is hip hop dead? Yes and no. It really all depends what you in it for. And then even more so, because of course that whole term, is hip hop dead or hip hop is dead, came from Nas originally. Now we know Nas traditionally makes some good cutting edge music. His lyricism, his intelligence, and when he speaks about the struggle or whatever, we can feel Nas. So now I'm hearing recently, I guess he just struck a casino deal, I guess a bigger casino deal than what Jay-Z was aiming for. So now there's a lot of talk that Nas beat Jay-Z again and this and that and whatever. And this is pretty much what I gotta say. Now, personally, most success to you, Nas and Jay-Z, or anybody out there that's handling their business. More power to you. However, I will say this though, because all this speaks into the us selling out. Now we know Nas, and see, and it's the thing, man, you can't Nas him personally right on. But I do notice that a lot of these musicians or whatever, see, and that's the thing, because we shouldn't be looking at these people as role models and stuff anyway. But unfortunately, they out there, and naturally people look up to them. But when I see Nas make a big casino deal, that's, yeah, right on for you personally. That doesn't help us. Not saying he's obligated, but I notice a lot of y'all, a lot of them, they putting money in establishments and institutions for stuff that's really ain't no good. A damn casino? So basically, okay, you make a casino and you want to invite more of your people to come in there and rip them off. It's like getting a Hennessy deal. Y'all promoting death. Y'all promoting destruction, bruh. You didn't. And I'm not listening. I'm not saying, because a deal is a deal. I understand we need to handle business. So personally, yeah, right on. But when we speak to the whole role model and follow the leader and the integrity, oh no, that's been jeopardized. Because I always notice, not even just bigger rappers, but just any local rapper, any deal or any type of brand they get is never nothing positive or healthy. I don't care if it's a damn cigar, a drink, blunt wraps, you know what I'm saying, a club, some wine, all that shit is death, bruh. Now don't get me wrong, okay, I like to party, I like to have fun just like everybody else. And I know the difference, and I'm not gonna fake the funk. You understand? So if I'm bullshitting, I'm gonna say I'm bullshitting. I'm not gonna try to rewrite it and redirect it. And, oh, I'm not bullshitting. No, I'm bullshitting. And let the kids see, yeah, I'm bullshitting. This is what you do when you bullshit. As well as you're gonna see when I'm serious and on some real grown man business. And that there, I believe that needs to be distinguished. Hold on, let me pause this. Somebody riding by playing music. A lot of times what they say, life and bullshit, yeah, a lot of us got it twisted. You understand? And all you doing is basically manipulating the kids. None of you niggas love the kids. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. You understand? Because you will be honest enough to let them know that, hey man, this ain't cool. Or even though you see me doing it, this ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? When you want to move right, this is what we do. Now, when we on that bullshit, this is what we do. But a lot of us want to mix it and bridge it together. Nah, man, it don't work that way. And I'll tell you to your face. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem when it comes to that. I'll tell you to your face. But this ain't about me, or it ain't even about you. You know what I'm saying? It's about all of us. But to answer that question, y'all, is hip-hop dead? Yeah, it is. And no, it's not. it is when it comes to this whole industry mainstream. Yeah, it's dead. It's hella dead. Not only the integrity been dead, but it ain't even money in it now, which is why a lot of artists is jumping ship now in what they call, diversing, which is nothing wrong with that. You probably should have been doing that anyway, but the reason why is because the industry, they ain't paying y'all. That's what it is. And now y'all used to talk bad on these podcasters, and now here y'all is on these podcasts. So yeah, hip hop is dead by that rationale. And then when I hear again, or right on for Nas, that's good personally. For you and your family, yeah, they say you got the biggest casino deal ever or something. Again, a lot of the talk, he made a deal bigger than Jay-Z, he beat Jay-Z. Again, I don't give a damn about none of that. And neither should you. I'm gonna keep it 100. Who give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? About a casino, man. A casino, what, in New York? Okay, what, Atlantic City? So that, because Vegas is dying. Now, it look like a lot of states now are starting to jump ahead of it and starting, okay, well, we gonna parlay some of that Vegas money over to our state. Which, okay, that's the name of the game, but I don't look at Nas or any of these rappers, man, as role models. And I said this before, we shouldn't even be counting them as role models, but just, I don't know, it's like, I'm happy for Nas, personally, as an individual accomplishment. But then again, it's like, that's how they get us. That's how they get us. And this is not to say, of course I wasn't there, but I just noticed the pattern that a lot of these artists and people, when they promote and do separate projects, it's always something promoting death or negativity. You understand? I can't think of one hip-hop rap artist that did a health drink, and I could be wrong, man. Of course that don't get promoted. So if they did do it, that ain't what they pushing, or the people behind them pushing. They may be pushing that Hennessy deal he got. Yeah, push that. Everybody drink more of that Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? Kill yourself. Smoke some of these cigars. Go gamble. Go party. All that is death and destruction. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I like to have fun just like everybody else. But I know the difference, and there's a line that I'm not going to cross. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. There's a line I ain't going to cross. I don't care what you say. And that's pretty much what this video was about, y'all, man. It's definitely, it's going to get worse before it get better. It's going to get a lot worse before it get better. Before y'all can really see the writing on the wall. And we said this before, a lot of us, we're going to have to be forced to work together. We ain't going to choose to work. Every other group, they know the name of the game. They come in on the same team. Us, nah, we got, everybody ain't been through what we've been through, but regardless. You know what I'm saying? We just ain't going to read the writing on the wall till it's damn near a little too late. And then we gonna bounce back like gangbusters, but we ain't trying to wait to that point though. But y'all let me know what y'all think though, man. I just wanted to get this video off real quick, man. It's a lot of little work going on around here and shit, and I'm watching their ass too. But yeah, I had to do this right quick for y'all, man, because I'm seeing the post of the whole rap and the hip hop dead in the industry. But yeah, this shit is dead. When it come to that, yeah, if you trying to get money like that, the shit is dead. Now, if you doing it from the grassroots because you love it, and you may get lifted up by the people if you true to it. I will say that.